a pop. Well, he'll go to the place where this camp leader is. I believe there was like a central building.
There's no real central building here. There's like an area that's very centralized. He himself right now is right out in the open, just basically yelling orders out to people as you approach.
Yeah.
You're not a refugee.
No. Well, in some understanding, I suppose we are, but do you have time
I recognize
to speak to you? Yes, we came to supply some time ago.
Ah, you're the one. You're one of the ones that saved me from that building before.
Yes.
Very well. Viceroy. Go over, help them in the med bay.
Viceroy Gunray?
Yes, Viceroy Gunray.
All right. Is it legal?
Have you had many troubles with the walkers around here recently?
Many, though the numbers have been thinning, there are still a lot of them that have been affecting this area. Also an exception. Also a large upbringing of rats, for some reason.
Large rats, or
decently large, yes.
Are they spider rats?
Are they ninja rats?
Well, I suppose then I come as a bearer of grave news indeed.
What news exactly have you thought of?
It seems that the Lord Mayor intends to clear this camp violently. He sees the people here as, well, no good to keep. And the guard will, in a little over a week, move in here to empty it. Sort of lets the word hang a little bit.
He seems quite angry at this idea.
Oh, sort of more troubled, though. I learned of this recently from the Lord's ex-scribe who ran away from him. He could not let this come to pass. I have spoken to some others, and we've agreed that this tragic event will not be allowed to happen. Not freely, at least. You should know that you are among a friend, and that there are others who will help.
Others? Who exactly can help? The guard are armed, they're trained, they know what they're doing.
Not all the guard will agree with this, I'm sure you understand. Besides that, are people of the community. I've spoken to Sebastian, I'm going to others soon.
Spash is a name which a few people here have a lot of trust behind.
Regardless, he has his own people, keeping them safe. Anyone capable of keeping people safe can be of help.
I guess that elf can be of some use.
You here are a lot of people who are very desperate. That is usually not a good combination. But if we could bring you equipment, if we could bring you something to defend yourself with, to stand together with others who have the same need, then perhaps the numbers would deter anyone trying to engage. If, of course, you can keep control of the people here.
I should have to keep some control going. The people here are either in too much fear or of, well, the majority that's the case. They're in too much fear to try opposing those who actually seem to know what they're doing.
Very well. We'll need to get them standing then, instead of sitting. We'll need to get them moving.
We have a lot of injuries, especially for those that are well trained, but we'll see what we can do.
I intend later to go see if I can bring medical supplies and, well, as I said, the people are here. All they need is the equipment, the food, these things. If we can bring these things, will you then stand with us?
We'll see to that as it happens.
I hope you understand that I cannot spend so much time bringing you all this if I do not know if you will help us. Really, I suppose I'm asking you to let us help you.
If you bring us supplies, we'll see what we can do. Against a trained force, though, we barely hold anything.
There will be a meeting, I assume. We'll bring all the ones who we can gather together, and we'll speak of how to deal with this. But something must be done. I hope you don't intend to have everyone here killed.
I don't intend for anyone to be killed, but there's not a lot we can. There's not a lot of power we have for it.
Well, no, which is why we're gathering what little we have to see what we can do. Something, at least. I'll be going to Margot's workshop now, then on to the next refugee camp. Hopefully others will help us.
I see. Is there anywhere in particular you would want meetings to happen?
Yes, I will first see who is available. Then I will see where we can gather safely. Too many too close to to certain strategic locations might be dangerous. However, if we're a small number, it might work. So I will certainly bring more information to you. I simply wanted to get this information to you as fast as possible.
I see. Thanks for the help you have given, then.
You might be able to prepare patrols. Tell the people here that soon equipment will come that will help them protect themselves better against these opponents. See who you can gather, who you can make. Still stand them rank and file. If they are a little too old, a little too young, as long as they're capable.
We'll see what we can do then.
Good.
Viceroy Gunray, get everyone together.
You will hear more soon. I promise. Maul sort of puts a hand on his shoulder before he tries to leave. What's the workshop?
Whoops. There you go. As you approach the workshop itself is... the workshop itself is barricaded, and that's about it. There isn't really much going on around here. It's remarkably quiet.
There's no one here?
You can make your way inside eventually, and the workshop itself is quite empty. You do definitely hear the sound of the forge running, and as you go round, you see Samuel working away.
I'll walk up to him. Samuel.
Ah, you're back. Mother Eleanor hasn't ordered anything else, as far as I know, unless you're bringing the order.
Not quite, although I might be bringing orders soon. Look, you know a lot of people, Samuel, correct?
I know a lot of people because a lot of people are my customers.
Yes. You're capable of making equipment. Do you have stores?
We're at the breaking point now. It's been going on so long. I'm running out of raw materials to use.
Not- So if you had raw materials, you could make things. Perhaps even buy the materials to make them, and then sell the things on when you have made them.
If there's some way we could get it, but one quarantine and one high demand due to infected whatever they are, doesn't make it too easy.
No, not. Well, friend, is about to get worse. So, as a fellow businessman, I had to warn you. The guard will soon, under the Lord Mayor's orders, be taking down the largest shops around the area, requisitioning any goods that they have, and the work, of course, taking any skilled workers unpaid until every problem is dealt with. And sadly, friend, these problems are more than just the walkers. Hard to believe, I know. The Lord Mayor intends to start a war inside the district. Take this chance to clean it out. And even if we are not particularly troublesome members of the community, we will certainly be the ones to pay the heaviest price. Because we are the ones he needs, and he will take us. You know him. You know how the guard acts. You as well as I have paid them off a little bit, but what when everything we have has already been taken? What when our daughters and brother stand here, hungry in the street, looking upon us working hard every day and night, yet earning nothing to feed them with? I could not let this come to pass.
He finishes hammering something and looks towards you. It is definitely a situation. One that's far too dangerous for any side to take in.
Well, yes. That's what I thought. Sort of fish up the letter, read out a few chose lines regarding the areas around here. It's going to be a war zone. And then Zashake said, it's going to be costly. And I hope you understand that standing on the sideline for skilled people is not going to be an option. I have, however, something that I should do for you.
I'm listening.
Your family. My family. If you will stay and stand with us, if you will help us with equipment, not in fighting necessarily, but with arming those who will, to defend themselves and their families, perhaps there is a way to bring your family out as one of the first to evacuate this district entirely. They will be away from the fighting, while we'll be in the thick of it.
If you're willing to keep my family safe, then I think we might be able to consider some kind of deal.
That is what I hoped. I know them. I like them. They're not meant for this sort of thing. None of us are. But I know that you would stand firm in my side, knowing that they are being kept safe by it.
They're my first priority for all this. To keep them safe. The reason why I've made sure that no one or nothing has been able to get in here.
Oh, smile. Gives a slight smile and says, yes, I intend to soon take my family out of the district. I'll bring yours as well. Perhaps a few others who are capable of walking the distance. I'll be paying for rooms at an inn, most likely Port District. It's a good place to stay. Hopefully that'll take their worries off somewhat. They'll be at a good distance, behind the walls, out of reach of this conflict.
If you're willing to do that, then I'll happily go ahead and give my services to whatever you might think.
That's good. Equipment is needed. The people at the eastern refugee camp, perhaps even at the northern, little of it has left, have already agreed to help. They are targets of this, deemed as undesirables by the state. Will be mowed down. They need something to defend themselves with. If you go there, to the eastern camp, and tell them to gather the scrap that they have, the bent and broken pieces of metal. I'm sure they have many that they have been using so far. If you can refine that, at least make the clubs useful, make the swords sharp, that should do a lot to help them survive.
I do what I can on basic materials, though. Yeah, I have very little to work with at this point.
I will see if there's a possibility of getting better materials. But for now, this is a way to begin. And wasting time cannot be afforded. I shall soon contact you again about, well, taking your family out.
And once that's been done, then I'll aid you in all these matters.
Good.
Till then, I'll watch over this place and keep them safe.
Just remember that if we fail, so do you, and I'm sure they would be much sad without you. He sort of looks him in the eyes and then nods and says, I have many others to warn. I will talk to you soon. He will take his leave.
Meanwhile, at the bar, Jonas?
Yes?
Some people at the bar.
Hello, people. Well, Raphael walks in, looks around, looks at the barkeep, smiles, his most innocent smile.
Oh.
You know, his most innocent smile is not that innocent as it turns out, really.
So it's almost rakish, huh?
It's almost, yeah. Half rakish.
Half rakish.
He looks around and says to Brendan and Cassandra, greetings, friends. He looks around. Is there a lot of, like, randoms in the bar?
The bar is almost completely empty. There's like one person other than these two.
Raphael looks at the person. Does he recognize the person?
Some normal drunkard from up the road.
Is he very drunk?
Well, there's at least 4 bottles of liquor on his table.
Yeah. Well, he looks at the guy and says, I think you have had enough. You should probably go outside and have some fresh air.
You can never have too much. Brandon, give me another one.
At this point, Raphael picks him up and throws him out.
He's too drunk to resist.
Excellent.
Brendan looks concerned at you.
Raphael closes the door behind him and, looks around and walks up to Brandon and Cassandra. Yes, sorry about that. If he was about to order something else, I will pay for it. But I needed to speak to the two of you in, something of a private. He smiles. It seems that the Lord Mayor has decided to make this district into a war zone, and me and my friends have decided to, oppose him in this. He gives like the basic details of what they all know, and then he says, we would like to meet here later this evening for a meeting among the different people that have gathered. So to plan our strategy, as it were. It would be most fortuitous for us if you, dear friend Farley, could supply us with some food and drink and board while we do this. I do not request that any of you side with this uprising or rebellion, or guerrilla warfare, or whatever you want to call it. I only wish to have this tavern as neutral ground where we can actually meet and discuss.
Don't you think having the heart of the rebellion's conversations here might not have me implicated still?
Shrugs, perhaps. But in a war situation, a poor old tavern keeper must take what business he can, no?
Business is certainly something which is always nice to have.
He smiles. I am sure you can excuse our presence here in all manner of reasons. Although I do agree that it might look a little bit bad if the Lord Mayor's forces walk in while we are sitting here talking. Nevertheless, this is what I would ask of you. If you say no, then we will find some other place.
Can you give me a diplomacy check?
Can. Not super good at it, but I certainly can. Whoop. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to update my skills. I remembered. Oh well.
Should that be any higher?
Yeah, it should be one higher.
One higher. He thinks. As much as you've been a good customer to me, and quite useful keeping out some of the riffraff, I'm not willing to risk my head like this in the event the guard do walk in.
I see. Well, that is quite understandable. I don't want to draw you into trouble, my friend. I do appreciate our friendships quite a bit, after all. He sort of thinks, well, if you're not willing to risk yourself for this, fine. We will still try to keep this place out of the fighting, of course. I don't hold a grudge towards my friends, he smiles. Perhaps then we can find some other place for this meeting. A friend of mine has, quite a large manor house at the outskirts of the district. Perhaps we can stay there.
Cassandra's watching you probably from like one of the balconies.
Raphael winks at her.
Is there anything else you need, Raphael?
No, not for now. I will go and talk to the others and gather up. If any of the my friends do show up here, please direct him towards he sort of thinks. How big is Ritterlin's house, by the way?
I think it's pretty. It's
Average.
larger than. Yeah, I think it's larger than average. I think we agreed.
Larger than average?
Yeah.
It's not a huge house because average houses in this district are not very big.
Yeah.
Sure. So his house is like gigantic, right?
Yeah. It's massive.
Super massive house.
Super massive.
I mean,
It's a mansion.
it's a decent size home for this district. Not a mansion. That's Zoe's.
Yeah, so is his mansion.
Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Like Zoe has enough room for all of you to have your own bedroom. So
Yeah, well, Raphael will say that he will return and, tell Barkley if anyone shows up to point them towards, Zoe's house, basically, because that's probably where to meet up in this case. And then we'll leave and seek out Zoe to ask her permission to have her house turned into, a board planning place.
convert the living room into a war room.
Mm-hmm. I'm fixing my skills, so.
Malachi, is tying around.
Mm-hmm.
Is she okay with her house being turned into a war room?
I don't know. Ask her.
I'm trying, but she's talking to this old lady.
Like he can't move his token right now because he's in his edit skills. So
Yeah. But in spirit, if you
he's
can
off,
imagine it in your mind's eye, Raphael shows up at the hospital if so is still there.
She is still there.
Yep, he will lay out the current conundrum that he wanted the bar, but Barkley says no, or Farley says no. Barkley's dead, and And he will then suggest that they use her house, which is very big and roomy.
She'll look surprised at first, but then sure. I don't see why not. It's not a problem for me, at least.
Good. Then,
Just keep your clothes on this time.
I can make no such solemn promises. I will try my best, though.
She'll give an innocent smile.
He smiles back, not so innocent. And then he sweeps out, telling Farley to, if any friends show up, to send it towards Zoe's house. And then I guess he will go and visit his old friend Sergei Drak if he's at home.
You'll definitely notice, crossing through, what bits of the Lord Mayor's territory you'd have done. You can definitely hear a lot of armaments going on. There are clearly people going through the weapon stashes and people training. If you didn't know, we'd already be at war.
Sure.
Sergeant Drake, meantime. No one's home.
Well, that's unfortunate. Rahal will leave a small note under the door, telling him that he wants to meet at the bar. And then he will make his way to the bar again. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot Scarnetti. I should probably warn her, actually. He stops by the bar, takes a beer, and walk with it towards Scarnetti's home as he drinks down as he walks down the street.
You know the way to get into her hideout. And eventually, you find your way down. She's right now standing on the opposite side of the battle ring, seemingly with a bunch of paper. And she looks at you as you walk in and gestures you over. The room is not empty either. There is quite a few. There are quite a few people in here. A lot of which probably used to be battle people and are now, a private army.
Rahal walks over, smiling, and says, Catherine, you look as dangerous as always.
And as tired as always, I guess.
Oh, not at all. You have boundless energy, I am sure.
Can you really say that in this situation? There's no easy money now.
It is certainly true. Well, I have come to you as a way of courtesy. I have brought in some money to you in the past, and you have done well by me. So I think I owe you a little something. View this as a sort of repayment. He smiles. It seems like Lord Mayor has decided to crack down upon crime and other villainy that he perceives in the quarter. Yours is name on one of the hit lists he has put out. I imagine that within a week or two, his armed thugs will walk down the street and start clanking down for real on your operation, trying to take you into custody or kill you, whatever suits him.
Capturing me will be no easy task, but I guess an entire military squad is also not an easy task to escape from.
Indeed not. He is also going to crack down on a lot of innocents and other people in the district. People that I and my friends have a slight concern to protect. We have decided to do so and trying to form something of a loose alliance with the different powers arrayed against the Lord Mayor. Divided we fall, but together we stand. Isn't that how the saying goes? He extends a hand, a gesture towards and says, "It is also therefore I have come before you, because I would like you present at a small meeting we're going to have discussing strategies and whatnot. I would like for us to be allies in this struggle. I don't know Perhaps you just decide to leave the quarter. That is up to you. But if you decide to stay, I think we should stand together against this.
Warfare is not something I'm personally quite keen in getting involved in. The district itself, there's more than one place. There's more than one place in the city to go. Even though it would be a shame if this place was to go and just to collapse upon itself.
Yes, I agree. And that is why we have taken pains to try to rally the community, as it were. Perhaps you are not the most loved member of said community, but, he makes a hand gesture towards her, perhaps a show of force would ingratiate yourself towards the populace. Perhaps more people will come to your fine establishment.
Raphael, don't try to make me laugh. You know how that went last time.
Oh, perish the thought, dear lady. Raphael is far too serious at this point.
I'll see. I will come to your meeting and listen to your plans. If I think there's any chance, then I might consider joining you. Otherwise, I'm probably going to just leave this district as quick as possible.
Raphael shrugs. That is fine. You will do as you please, I am sure.
Either way, there'll be some supplies left over, which I'm sure you'll be able to take. There's no way I can carry all of this out with me.
He nods. Very good. I will take it as a gesture of goodwill then.
I do not want the Lord Mayor to win, though either side that ends up being there is probably going to have problems with my businesses anyway. But what can you do?
Indeed what? The life of an outlaw is ever frightful.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Quite.
I'm back.
In that case, you may show yourself at the door. I'll see you at your meeting.
Raphael nods and walks out. To the bar!
To the bar.
And now I'm done.
Malachi.
All right.
So you went to this area. Well, the area is the area itself is I mean, they're like, there are like small barricades up there. You don't really see many people.
Yeah, you thought so.
There are things drawn over all the walls, however.
Oh, what are they drawn?
Do you happen to have knowledge religion or knowledge history?
No.
Or local for that matter?
No. None of those are my class skills.
You're not sure?
Oh. Like, what do they look like?
Well, they vary. There are some drawings of like comets. There's one of what appears to be like a moon with like a face in it. There are a variety of symbols. Other than that, there's like a scythe at one wall. On one of the walls basically has, it looks like someone's like final prayer. Begging. Actually feels, it feels quite grim trying to look through all the stuff here.
You'll rethink going to that camp. Most people probably left it.